West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you sucker trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team my all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance of one West rising to prominent. Cause I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got group fines for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been a stopper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going them off Patron and premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas feel like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because U.P. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
It's 613 commandments, nigga, and you can't do 10, my nigga. Matter of fact, you can't do 1, my nigga. Let's see if you can stop eating pork. I see that pork juice running down your fork. Talk about you blessed in the streets of New York. I see that tight pushing 3-piece suit that you bought. When you gonna rock that? When you go to court? Maybe Sunday, better get Easter. I blast at you masters. Knowledge reigns supreme over all you teachers. Pedophile supporters, cool rigor mortis. Your niggas out of order. When Christ returns, you hear the screams in the chorus. Now breathe.
Revelations 6 and 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Wicked, disgusting society that we live in, man. And we gotta separate from the society. We gotta separate. How long does the white man have to murder and kill for you to realize he's a goddamn devil? How long does he have to murder and rape and arrest and shoot unlawfully for you to realize this white man is a goddamn beast.
All he does is rape, murder, steal, and plunder. You understand that? And as a result, they destroyed our people. And as a result, our people are running around with the goddamn Wu-Tang Clan because there's a Jewish imposter on the planet. When you take away a man's identity, you can replace it with anything. That's why we're in every religion.
And what I'm telling you, what I have to teach you, every race does it automatically. You don't have to teach Asians to join themselves. You don't have to teach East Indians to join themselves. You don't have to teach Arabs. When them Africans come over here from Africa, you don't have to teach them that. You don't have to teach the Vietnamese. You have to teach us. You have to teach us.
Crazy. I don't want to put the attitude.
Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. They keep it real with niggas, man. Most of y'all frauds. Leave like you frauds. Y'all pussy niggas won't ride for your dog. Right at your man and put the dagger right in his heart. I'm playing my part. Definitely I'm playing it smart. And if I don't get you, then I'm coming for your brother then. Or his mother then. It's kind of crazy revenge settling. Rape, sold, and murdered the natives when they was settling. Coming in out of the water that they was fishing in. I was raised in hell. It got dark when I was pedaling. White man harassing the block when we was pedaling. White man who also was the plug when we was pedaling. I would never fraud if I was on David Letterman. This is UPK, ain't no Travis Shabazz. When the Christ come back, I'm right on your ass. Got the Johnny Walker in me, and I'm all in my bag. I'm on my Friday the 13th with the gun and the mask. Ah, who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night.
Hey yo, the car and nacho, fucking doing crazy like they destined on the Flocko. Righteous on the block though, the beat I catch a ride, but I always miss my stop though. Beefing with my shorty till I stuck it in the taco. Who's that creeping through my window? I ain't with the complications, I'ma keep it simple. Burn all black Dickie to the Timbo. You gon' find exactly what you looking for in limbo. We gon' get it in though. Experience I live from 2036. I see my brother when it's been done. Every day I think about the trouble that I slid from. That's why I call the white man the devil, cause he is one. That's not a motherfucker, I think we should just forgive. That act right, gave a nigga reason to live. Give you extra if you take it back or you renege. See him creeping, no Newport, I squeeze the cig.
Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night.
Where's the competition? I'm bored with it. Step it up or a board mission. I keep 2 boards with it. Gonna feel like a forward hitter. This piece I'm adored with it, but you can get gored with it. You don't want to war with him. This hammer, I'm Thor with it. You pray for my downfall, I just pray that the Lord with him. Taking every shot and I'm keeping the score with him. But this ain't a game. Ain't no back and forth with him. So quick, I'm just to kill. You can tell how that forfeit him. It just ain't in him. That beef is takeout. That means it's just steak dinner. I grip the stick, hit the switch and make you switch genders. That stretch 5 is too much, I make you switch center. That pressure on you gon' forgot you a chain center. A warlord don't show no pain, just put that pain in her. A pillar in the shit, you know it ain't no change in her. It's legit if you see it in my name in it. It's UPK, nigga. Let's get it.
Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act, right? I was fighting wars day and night.
Shalom, Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Thumb to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemel Abba Shemel Shai to all the sisters. I am priest and officer Abad Hayah, 500. General Katham Gabar is going to be in the building. We're going to be holding down for General Hazayan and Captain Akada Barayam. This is Let a Hebrew Speak. Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to get right into it. The so-called Halloween's coming up, and the Most High God does not want us celebrating Halloween. He wants us to come back to our culture. He wants us to come back to our heritage. He wants us to obey him. He wants obedience rather than sacrifice. That's all the Most High God wants. He just wants us to be obedient. And when we disobey him, he punishes us. He throws us into captivity until he brought us here into this land called America through our oppressor, the so-called Edomites. So we have to get in tune. We have to watch these classes, watch these radio shows, tune in, observe the high holy days, come back to our culture, come back to our heritage. All of these things we must do. Be brotherly towards one another. Show brotherhood. Let brotherly love continue. Have that prefer one another. So. Let's get Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1, Baba Kashar. This is the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. See, the Most High God wants us to gather together. He wants us to come together. He doesn't want us out here doing our own thing, being individualites, being in the Catholic Church, Muslim mosque, Egyptology, Christian church, anything that's not about keeping these laws, such commandments in the Bible, has nothing to do with us. That's all we need to focus on. We need to focus on being obedient to our Most High God, following our King's footsteps. Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who is a black man. He is a black man from the tribe of Judah. He's dark like you and me, so let's get it. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Slaki, sir, if you're ready, with the fist, I could bring you in, sir, if you're ready. Slaki.
Can you hear me?
Kawakan.
Can you hear me?
Kawakan, I can hear you, sir.
You pretty low.
I am pretty low. Slaki.
Yeah.
Is that better, sir?
Your volume is pretty low. It's pretty low.
Oh, Kawakan, I'll check it right now, sir. Thwada.
Right on the bar.
Shalom, shalom. Test.
I can hear you, but you're lower than normal. But I can hear you. As long as okay, I guess that's fine. That's as high as it can go. I was gonna go into Molech. I sent you an email. If you can start off with that. You know what I mean? I wanted to deal with Halloween. Hey, shalom, thumb, shalom, shamal, thumb, bashim shine to all the brothers and sisters.
I got it, sir.
Okay. All right, but I want to go into Halloween because here's what's always happening. Forgive me, I got a cold. We live in America where the so-called white man, who's the devil, he's always indoctrinating our children every year. And I come to find out that some of us don't celebrate Halloween, and every brother in the school and the sister in the school that got children, they don't celebrate it. But how much do we really pass on to our children as the years go by? Like, you got to remember, each year they throwing Halloween on your children. So you can tell your children, we don't celebrate it. It's a heathen holiday. But you always got to give your child a little bit more strength to battle that by giving them the truth about Halloween and how heathenistic it is. Halloween is really the worship of the dead. That's really what Halloween is all about. It originates from a festival called Samhain, from the Druids and from the Celtic people. Well, the Druids are really the priests of the Celtic people, all right? And Samhain was their New Year's and for worshiping the dead. But let's read some of it, brother.
Karuka. Halloween developed from an ancient pagan festival celebrated by Celtic people over 2,000 years ago in the area that is now the United Kingdom, Ireland, and northwestern France. The festival was called Samhain, which means summer's end. And the festival marked the beginning of the dark winter season and was celebrated around November 1st. In the 800s, the Christian church established a new holiday, All Saints Day.
All Saints Day. What happened over time, like a lot of brothers, you hear brothers on the streets, and they'll be talking about how Christianity came from the Council of Nicaea. But actually, Christianity evolved over time to pagan, just to conquer the pagans or the other heathen nations in Europe.
Right.
So they just started to not want that, like the Roman Empire, if you didn't follow them, they would just destroy you, take over, and do what they wanted to do. But the Romans got slick. After the Roman Empire fell, they came up with a new weapon. And that new weapon was Christianity, which is to indoctrinate the people. But in order for them to indoctrinate the people, they decided to keep the festivals of those different people that they conquered and start to take their festivals and combine it with Christianity.
Right.
And this is where you get All Saints Day. Read on, brother.
Karoka. All Saints Day. On this day, All Saints Day was called All Hallows. Hallow meaning saint or one who is holy.
Right.
The evening before All Hallows was known as All Hallows Eve, or as it came to be abbreviated, All Halloween, or the name eventually shortened to Halloween.
Right. Basically, it was all worshiping the dead people. The saints ain't real. The spirit world ain't real. That the original Celtic people was worshiping. They just took that and just threw All Saints Day over it as they slowly started to conquer them. And they slowly started to single out the Druid priests, and they would slaughter them. And that's how it became All Saints Day. But before that, it was called Samhain. Today is known as Halloween. Keep reading.
The priests of Celtic religion were magical religious specialists called Druids. The Celtics held ceremonies in sacred groves and other natural shrines called Nementons. While the Celtic people also built temples or ritual enclosures, Celtic peoples often made votive offerings.
Votive offerings is like little idols that they would throw in water. You ever go into a mall and you see a wishing well with coins and stuff? That right there comes out of that votive. A wishing well is the same thing, except those idols would be prayers for the dead. But now you throwing in a quarter or a penny or the change in your pocket for a wish. It's the same thing.
Right.
Read on.
Kabukan. treasured items deposited in water in wetlands or in ritual shafts and wells. This is evidence that ancient Celtic peoples sacrificed animals, almost always livestock or working animals. There is also some evidence that ancient Celts sacrificed humans, and from some Greco-Roman sources claim that Gauls sacrificed criminals by burning them in a wicker man.
A wicked man. I don't know if you can find it. I sent you another email of the picture. If you could post that.
Khan.
If you could post that, I just sent that to you. And you'll see the wicked man, the wicker man, which is like anything, if you know about a wicker chair, the furniture, wicker. Well, anyway, they made this big, huge wicker man in the shape of a man. And they would put animals and humans in it, and they would set it on fire. There you go. And that's what they would do. And that all would be, the worshiping the dead and sacrificing to the dead. All right. All of this is part of the Halloween ritual, and this is where it comes from. Today it looked innocent and sweet, and it's for the kids, but it originally wasn't for the kids. It was originally for worshiping the dead over from the Celtic people. All right, brother.
Khan.
Go back to reading.
Khan. Pulling it back up. Pulling it back up. Okay. Got it. Okay. Khan. You want me to go to Jack-o'-lantern, sir? That was the end of the paragraph, sir.
Yeah, hit Jack-o'-lantern.
Khan.
Go into each part of this heathen holiday, the Celtic holiday that they running around about to have our children celebrate each year. That's why it's so important that these little different information about Halloween should be given to your children, so by the time they get older, they won't depart from your teachers. The scripture said, train a child in a way that he won't depart from. I'm paraphrasing, of course. A lot of us would say, hey, listen, we don't celebrate Halloween, but let's give our children a little bit more of why.
Right. How jack-o'-lanterns originated in Irish myth. Before we carved pumpkins, the Irish chiseled creepy faces onto turnips.
Right. They used turnips before it was pumpkin. All right. They would use them turnips. Go ahead, read on.
Khan. Pumpkins with ghoulish faces and illuminated by candles are a sure sign of the Halloween season. The practice of decorating jack-o'-lanterns.
So every time when you riding around in October 31st, you should be telling your kids, that's as you see it, you say, see, that's a heathen holiday. We don't celebrate. It comes from serving jack-o'-lantern. And then give a little history to the kid. Because we all know Halloween is a heathen holiday. But our children, they the ones who have to go to school, and it's being pushed on them.
Right.
And I'm not saying to have your child go into the school system and battle. But what I am saying is teach your children enough so that they'll know and they'll be able to explain themselves a little more. And a lot of times a child might be able to confound a teacher. Because the teacher just following it. You know what I mean? Like they'll push Halloween, which is a Celtic religion, but they won't push our religion or our customs.
Right.
The minute that we start speaking on our customs, they'll say we can't do that. Go ahead.
Khan. The practice of decorating jack-o'-lanterns originated in Ireland, with large turnips and potatoes carved as early canvases. In fact, the name jack-o'-lantern comes from an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack.
That's
Irish
where it comes from, Stingy Jack. Go ahead.
Irish immigrants brought the tradition to America, home of the pumpkin, and it became an integral part of Halloween festivities.
See if there's more.
The legend of Stingy Jack. People have been making jack-o'-lanterns at Halloween for centuries. The practice originated from an Irish myth about a man nicknamed Stingy Jack. According to the story, Stingy Jack invited the devil to have a drink with him. True to his name, Stingy Jack didn't want to pay for his drink. So he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin that Jack could use to buy their drinks. Once the devil did so, Jack decided to keep the money and put it into his pocket next to a silver cross, which prevented the devil from changing back into his original form.
And this is what we've been worshiping when we was children. This is what we've been partaking. And this is what they're about to push on your children in the next week or so. Go ahead. I think it's what, next Monday or something like that? Or Sunday at the Christian church. Go ahead.
Jack eventually freed the devil under the condition that he would not bother Jack for 1 year, and that should Jack die, he would not claim his soul. The next year, Jack again tricked the devil into climbing a tree to pick a piece of fruit. While he was in the tree, Jack carved a sign of the cross into the tree's bark so that the devil could not come down until the devil promised Jack not to bother him for 10 more years. Scrolling down. Soon after, Jack died. As the legend goes, God would not allow such an unsavory figure into heaven. The devil, upset by the trick Jack had played on him and keeping his word, would not claim his soul and would not allow Jack into hell.
Right.
He sent Jack off into the dark night with only a burning coal to light his way. Jack put the coal into a carved out turnip and has been roaming the earth with ever since. The Irish began to refer to this ghostly figure as Jack of the Lantern, and then simply jack-o'-lantern.
Right. All right. See all the foolishness?
Right.
And they've been pushing this on us for so many years. You know what I mean? And black people, we never really, like our parents never found out the origin of this nonsense, but would allow us or pushed us into like, you know, a Halloween party, taking part of it, dressing you up in an outfit like a skeleton or a witch or whatever. Now they have you as superheroes and all that. But before then, it was always back during that time of the festival, the people would dress with animal skins and try to have horns on their head. They were more like trying to symbolize evil spirits to ward off. They believed that at that particular day, that was a time period where the spiritual world and the physical world had a break in time, and that the humans and evil spirits could interact with each other. So this holiday, the Feast of Sowing, was one of the major holidays, was the major holidays for the Celtic people. All right? It was damn near like our Passover. It was most important. All right?
Kawkan.
Read on, brother.
Kawkan.
And I'm going to say another thing. the thing when you see it over there in Ireland and England, and you see these big Stone Age rocks, they're in a circle. That circle is where they did all their sacrificing and they did their feast days. That circle they knew was divided into 4 different sections for the 4 different seasons. And at the very end of summer is when you would do the harvest, and that's when they did the feast of sowing.
Right.
All right, the next part, brother.
In Ireland and Scotland, people began to make their own versions of jack-o'-lanterns by carving scary faces into turnips or potatoes and placing them into windows or near doors to frighten away stingy Jack and other wandering evil spirits. In England, large beaks are used. Immigrants from these countries brought the jack-o'-lantern tradition with them when they came to the United States. They soon found that pumpkins, a fruit native to America, made perfect jack-o'-lanterns. Scrolling down. I think that's the end of the article, sir.
Okay, you can start off with the next article, and that's where jack-o'-lantern comes from a folk tale named Stingy Jack, and he's dealing with the devil. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Kabukan.
It should be under your email.
Kabukan.
All right, bro.
The next one is bobbing for apples, sir.
Right.
But it's more like a small paragraph or like a few sentences than
apples at the parties when you see bobbing for apples. You can go ahead and explain it, or I can just explain it. Bobbing for apples is when you were supposed to a woman would try to bite an apple. This is one story, and that would tell if she's going to find a lover. Then the next one was if she tried it again and she bit the apple, that meant it was going to take her time to find a husband. But go ahead and read a little bit on it. Because it's also a worship of another god, a Roman god called Pomona. All right.
Bobbing for apples. There are some links to bobbing for apples from the Roman festival of Thephalia,
right,
in which the community mourned its dead,
right,
as well as another ceremony called Pomona, named for the Roman goddess of the apple, and which celebrators honored fruits and trees.
Right. So there you have it. You know, the honoring of the dead. Like we don't like our customs. We don't honor the dead and have festivals to the dead. We honor the Most High.
Right.
You know what I mean? The living power. That's who all our feast days are built around. You know what I mean? What he did for us. You know what I mean? What we should give to him for doing what he did, freeing us from out of Egypt, bringing us into the land. All our feast days deal with just the Most High. All right, brother, go ahead. What's the next little article?
The next one is just a word that says bonfire, sir.
Right. Okay. Bonfires. The word bonfires, it basically goes like this. This is the story of the bonfires. A lot of times you'll see the bonfires in the festival of sowing. The bonfires represents the bones that they would burn their ancestors. Like it was unlawful for us to burn our dead. But when you look at all the European old civilizations like the Vikings, the Britons, they would burn people with all these twigs, and you'll see them burning them. Or you'll see a Viking putting them on a raft, and then they would shoot an arrow and burn it. Well, the bonfires come from worshiping the bones of the dead. That's where it comes from. The word bonfire, it was bone fire. So that's where it would come. So the bonfire, and the reason why they got bats, when you see Halloween, a picture of Halloween, is always a bat flying around. So when you have a bonfire, while they was worshiping the bones, the mosquitoes, the flies, and all these other stuff would be flying in the air, and that brought out the bats, because the bats would come out at night, and that bonfire was light, and that bonfire drew insects to it. So all this was synonymous with the festival of sowing, which is the celebration of Halloween.
Right.
Okay. Hey, give me and is that all it of all the articles?
Khan.
I probably sent you the wrong one. Let me give me a quick second. Hey, give me Leviticus 18.
Khan.
Chapter 21.
Khan. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Keep reading.
Yeah.
Khan. Verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is abomination. Verse 23.
Hold on.
Neither.
Salakia, brother. I'm looking for something.
Oh, Salakia.
Forgive me, y'all. Bear with me. I'm a little under the weather. All right, brother. Go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire.
And here's what it is. It said, thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire. Us sending our children out to go receive candy from the devil is like letting your child pass through the fire. Like you put your children in some sort of dangerous situation. It's the same thing as serving Molech. Just like when a man puts a gun in a young boy's hand, you putting your child in a danger. You know what I mean? Same thing with letting them sell drugs at a young age. When you send your child out to go eat some damn candy or do something that's dangerous, you letting him cross through a fire that he's going to get burnt. He's going to get harmed. He might even get killed. Recently, they was talking about there was some fentanyl in some Skittles or something like that. That's dangerous.
Right.
I remember coming up, you would hear reports of people finding straight razors in apples. I know have you ever heard that before?
Khan.
Right. And we continually send our kids out. So you can't just be sending your kids out to do anything. Right. Go ahead, brother.
Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God.
Right. Right. We profane the name of the Most High by worshiping Halloween.
Right.
Like I say, man, every year you got to think about it. Your children are being indoctrinated. You know what I mean? You got to fight against that, man, because you got all these holidays coming up. All right, you can drop that, brother.
Okay.
You can drop that. So I just wanted to give that part on Halloween, And years ago, Halloween celebrated in America, they would have all kind of, they would destroy the property. They would burn buildings down. People would get killed. They would do all kind of silly madness. What I've been trying to research is, what did they involve themselves in going into black neighborhoods? That's what I've been trying to find out in the 1920s. Because I wonder if they was running around lynching black men on Halloween night. I'm sure I'm sure they was, but I was looking for some sort of evidence. That's my next research on this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they was calling it mischief night, where they would do all manner of crazy nonsense to people. You know what I mean? Back during the time of the festival of Samhain, they would knock on they would dress up in evil spirits, and they would knock on the doors, and they would ask the people, trick or treat, and they would give them bread. That bread or biscuit or whatever they would give them, that cake, they would eat it for a prayer to the dead. Then nowadays, if you would either get on mission night, you would say trick or treat. They would either do something to you or you would pay them. More like an extortion back in the 20s. All right, in the 1920s.
Right.
Hey, I got to take a break. I'm over here through Salakia. All right, brother, I'm gonna take a break.
Come. Play some music, sir, or?
Yeah, just play some music.
Come.
Salakia.
Good, Captain Tower. Y'all was just rock and Tower good with you. Hey, man, you know, I've been bumping that motherfucker one West till they bury me, man. I just want to let you know. Listen to these other niggas, man. These niggas ain't fucking with you, bro. The motherfucking bars you spitting, that real shit you dropping, that's what niggas need the motherfucking hip-hop right now. All these niggas talking about this motherfucking popping Molly getting wet. These niggas loving thoughts, man. Fuck all that bullshit, man. You a real motherfucking nigga. Keep dropping that real shit, and niggas gonna get on with that shit. Niggas need to get their boots laced up. Niggas need to get their motherfucking fringes, grow that beard out. Niggas need that soldier shit. You bringing that motherfucking shit, man. Keep laying that shit down. You understand? Because right now, we need real niggas, and you the last real nigga left. My nigga, Captain War. One West till they bury me. Y'all already know what it is. And the rest of you bitch ass niggas out there, fuck.
Smoke. 7:30, 1 West. They don't want no problems. They don't want no smoke. What I tell them? Fuck them. Pull up to their show. What you tell them? Fuck them. Hit them with the foe. What we tell them? Fuck them. They don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke. What I tell them? Fuck them. Pull up to their show. What you tell them? Fuck them. Hit them with the foe. What we tell them? Fuck them. They don't want no problem. You know my motto is fuck 'em, that's all I gotta say. Scope on the rifle that'll spot you from a mile away. Still getting women drunk off Hennessy and Alizé. Still with them niggas loading hollow tips inside the cave. Still be on that same shit, but I kinda change with multiplying bitches. Might not see me with the same bitch, but you might see me riding 95 North in the black Mitsubishi 195 horse. Power with no sour, couple bottles there, of course. R.I.P. to all my fallen riders in the morgue. Yeah, you know I got the juice, know I got the sauce. And then super fly, full of fatty in the Porsche. I don't need a molly just to pop her out of drawers. Shorty getting naked cause she know that I'm the ball. Ready for that drama, man, I'm ready for the war. If he talking reckless, he don't really love his jaw. Fuck him to the DA, fuck him to the law. Fuck them cause they got my brother stuck behind them bars. Fuck them to the PD, fuck them to the force. Fuck them to the haters just without the intercourse. They don't want no smoke, what I tell them? Fuck them, pull up to their show, what you tell them? Fuck them, hit them with the foe, what we tell them? Fuck them, they don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke, what I tell them? Fuck them, pull up to their show, what you tell them? Fuck them, hit them with the foe, what we tell them? Fuck them, they don't want no problem. We got tons of guns, don't make us use it. Doing something stupid, resulting you being toothless. Getting broad topless in the whip like it's ruthless. Like my girl's chocolate with the chips, so she useless. Always been the nigga that's too big for the Gucci. Long as I got enough room to squeeze in the Thule. Couple extra clips that it scenes from your movie. Step up in the club ready, smelling like a brewery. Then I mix the frankincense, keep the aroma. Hebrew fresh to death, you in a coma. Shit, you just a player in the game, I'm the owner. Bitches call me, but for you don't pick the phone up. Niggas talking childish shit, I'm a grown up. New for a while, I'm sick, keep me throwing up. Keep guns on every floor of my house. Yeah, you might make it in, but you ain't making it out. It's kinda like you got a bullseye, tape you to scout. It's like you walking through the jungle, but the lions is out. UPK, bend them niggas, what you lying about? The generals will get a word, I'll punch you right in your mouth, nigga. They don't want no smoke, what I tell them? Fuck them, pull up to their show, what you tell them? Fuck them, hit them with the foe, what we tell them? Fuck them, they don't want no problem. They don't want no smoke, what I tell them? Fuck them, pull up to their show, what you tell them? Fuck them, hit them with the foe, what we tell them? Fuck them, they don't want no problem. They don't want no problem. Fuck them, they don't want no problem. Fuck them, they don't want no problem. They don't want no. Shit. It's not. You already know I got bars, man. I keep it so groovy though, you don't know where I'm about to come with it. Right. But just know I'm gonna kill it.
Mama, K-Sign at it again.
On your track, I get you snapping like a golf clap. Thinking you could get it back, but you lost that. I get it done without a problem and I toss that. And then it's on to the next, cause I'm off that. You can't buy loyalty, so never cross that. And things with the most worth, you can't floss that. The niggas with the most work can get it all snatched. Them Philly niggas knock the pee up off your ball cap. I stay busy and I do my thing, but I just put the moonshine in the Chick-fil-A cup grooving. Shorty fixed me with the AAA, but she said she loved the way I move and I keep the same strut. Ain't a goddamn thing to beat me. Comfortable up in my skin, flip-flops, a white tee with some cargo short sweatsocks, or OE. On my lean back, drawing and draw during the OD. Glad I got about the streets, I'm still in them low-key. Comprehensive shit used to be offensive, no D. When I tried the hurricane, go Katrina, blow tree. Trying to get a full tank, I always end up on 8.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Been out of these streets. Nigga trying to eat while I duck police. Own family stealing from me. My mama told me to pray. know what to say. So many niggas hating me. Get them away from me.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Trying to keep it on the true side, nigga. Laying low to play it cool now, nigga. Ass niggas on the team, I've been known to get the green ever since I was 2'5", nigga. Coop hanging out the roof, nah, nigga. Cause I ain't stunting on them. Put my whole team on so they ain't wanting. When niggas doing bad, you know that they be hating on you. Get the hoping that you fall, they be waiting on it. Bullshit get bread from the envy. Best friends get to looking like enemies. When you got it in this bank account empty. Perfect recipe to breed a lot of jealousy. Looking from a bird's eye view. Learn from everything I've been through. Told my baby girl, if you ain't spitting life with the nigga, never let him put a dick up in you. Cause if a nigga wrong, I'ma check that shit. And we get paper long, never flex that shit. Told my son, when you getting money, never trick it to a bopper, flip it over, then invest that shit. Give a lot of game, trying to bless my kids. Gotta keep it real, that's the best shit. Got hitters up in Philly, back in Texas. When I get up on the track, yeah, I wreck shit.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome.
Hey, what they do, dawg? What they do, bro? You know what time it is, man. Coming out the boondocks, the ghettos, the barrios, nigga, the wood lots. You know what time it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a takeover, dawg. You know what I'm saying? Mr. 249, nigga, I ain't talking about the time, dawg. Yeah!
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
I'm from a place where they don't deliver pizza and won't deliver my people, even if they call them FEMA. A place where black women say they don't need you, where everybody broke and selling dope, the only way to feed them. Shit is football, fucked up beyond all recognition. Crackers hiring 2 million niggas in prison. Now move your ass over, cause I'm coming hard like Captain Mashak Garment at the 49th pass over. They already know, don't piss me off and make me grab Captain Tazari up and load him up with 17 shots of Captain Cottazar and bust every round and make them connect like high-speed Wi-Fi. So don't call that motherfucking line radio. Run west. This ain't what you want, breakfast club ass niggas. We ain't seeing y'all and don't give a damn if it's all three of y'all. And I ain't really a social media nigga. I'm more of a 3D up front, say it in your face, nigga. And every man ain't a faggot, and every faggot ain't no fucking man. Yeah, you heard what the fuck I said. My speech is rude, man, up for move. You can't pick and choose who you con out of a con to. In this school, you will follow the rules, no excuse, and give a brother his respect that is due. I see a church sign, I cross that shit out and let them know for sure that UPK was fucking here. I been through it all, back against the wall, died and came back, so it ain't a man that I fucking feel. They say the truth will set you free, so when I tell you the truth, I'm making you free. With this speech, Isaiah 49:23, get on your knees and kiss the boots of the kings and the priests. Truth and lies so mixed, that's like trying to put two men together and expect for them to have a kid. A Jew lies with the ish, so when you put the words together, all you is Jewish. I came to peep out the world, this is a nice place. Then he says it ain't for sale, just for showcase. My apologies, devil, you must mistake. I didn't come to ask, bitch, I came to take. Yeah! Who's the power? Who's the power? Who do we feel? The power we fear. Who do we feel? The power we fear. Who's your king? Who's your king? What's your name? Israel.
I see you looking still, acting like we strangers. But we blood brothers, hang each other like we fucking dangerous. Your mamas call us vagabond, so you don't hang with us. But I bet you hear me if I speak in your own language. Live it, 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 live it. I remember the days when y'all was picked on. I remember the days when y'all was shitted on. I remember the days when y'all stood alone. I remember Rachel, the baddest Haitian in my project home.
Slakia Israel, we was muted for. I was still muted. Slakia, the water. So I was saying we're gonna get Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6, and it was heavy what the general was bringing out about the origins of Halloween and the jack-o'-lantern and the bonfires and Stingy Jack, because we need to we need to arm ourselves, equip ourselves with this knowledge, so we can come against this evil that's coming against us, that's being portrayed in the that's being broadcast off the airways, that's being portrayed on television, in the movies, that's being decorated in businesses, in every food market and grocery market, that's putting sales on the candy and all that, so we can get into that spirit and putting the costumes in our faces. We need to know the origins of this, so we don't fall victims until the until the trap that our oppressor lays to us. So we know that this is just all pagan and just idol worship, and we need to worship the Most High God, our power. That's what we need to worship. We need to come back and serve Him. He is who we need to pray to and acknowledge in all our ways. So, still can't hear? Slakia? Is the audio back on? Give me a 1 if the audio is back on. Slakia, give me a 1 if the audio is back on. Let me check. Slakia about that. Shalom. It should be back on. Thwada Shar, Pun Yahweh, Thwada Swap 1 West. We back on. Thwada. We was muted for a second, but Thwada. So we're going to get Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people. See, it starts with my people. The Lord has a chosen people. That is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native men, women, and children. We are His chosen people. We are the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was later changed to Israel, and he is the father of the Israelites, the 12 lost tribes of Israel, from Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, all the way down to Issachar. So my people, He has a people. He does not love everybody. Most High God does not love everybody. He hates the oppressor for what he's done to his for his people, Israel, blacks, Hispanics, Native men, women, children. And he loves Jacob. He loves us. That's why he punished. That's why when we obey him, he rewards us, and when we disobey him, he punishes us, because he's a father unto us. He only deals with us. He gave his law, statutes, and commandments unto us, and that's it. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, not a lack of money, not a lack of marching, not a lack of voting, but a lack of knowledge. We don't know. We don't know who we are, essentially. We don't know that we are the Israelites. We don't know that the Most High name is Yahweh. We don't know who we're praying to. We praying to an oppressor God, who a white God in the Christian church. We're trying to serve a white Jesus in a Christian church. We can't do that. We can't do that, and we definitely can't partake in these holidays, American holidays. Can't do that at all. We won't get out this captivity if we do those things. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, because we reject knowledge, because we don't want to come and listen on these street corners, because we don't want to listen on these street corners, we just walk past and turn our ear and just keep going about our day. We don't listen to these priests and prophets. We don't tune into these classes. We ignore the prophets of the Most High God. I will also reject thee. The Most High God's going to reject us. He's not going to hear us. He's going to reject us, and then we're not going to have his protection. We're going to be on the down and out. So thou shalt be no priest to me. And then we're going to lose the greatest job, the greatest profession on this earth for Israelite man. It's to be a priest to the Most High God, to serve a living God. See, the heathen so-called priests, the Catholic Church or and all of them, they're not serving a real God. They're serving idols, vain, nothing. They don't have nothing. They don't have their gods. There's no other God but the Most High God, Yahweh. So everything they're doing is in vain. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. And another thing is that we put our children at risk when we choose not to hear the words of the Most High God, when we choose not to hear these prophets, when we choose to forget what the Most High God done for us in Egypt, when he set the plagues on Pharaoh, when he brought us up out of the land. He fed us in the wilderness with manna. He fed us in the wilderness with manna when we escaped out of Egypt. And he brought us into our land and gave every tribe a land according to their number. So, yeah, and then I will also forget thy children. Our children are at risk. And then regeneration, reincarnation, Israel, it is proven in the Bible. Christ himself was on this earth 5 times as Adam, Melchizedek, Isaac, King Solomon, and of course Christ. So this not have been our first time on earth. There's nothing new under the sun. Man has been here and he will be here. So we're gonna drop that. We're gonna drop Hosea 4:6, and Kanye West have been in the news recently for his for the statements he had been saying that we are the Jews too, or something to that effect. But the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge been on these street corners since 1969, teaching our people that we are God's chosen people, teaching that we are the Jews that the Bible speaks of. We've been at it on the forefront. It's okay. It's not wrong for a celebrity of his standing to say those things, but is he going to stand on them? Is he going to stand on them? Is he not going to fold when things go his way again? See, we the I.S.U.P.K is here to stay. We is here to stay, and we're gonna keep pushing this truth, and we're not going to fold. And that's the importance of why we got to keep on tuning into these classes and renewing our minds each and every day. Stay on deck. Stay armed. Stay ready. Be in that warfare spirit. So let's get Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2 real fast, saying proving that the Jews are actually black. The Jews are black, and the Jewish man, he is a liar. He is a liar, and he's gonna get destroyed because just because Ish proves the Ish means like, but not the exact thing. So he is not the real Jew, but the blacks, Hispanics, Native men, women, and children are the real Jews. We are God's chosen people, and it's right here. It's right here in the scriptures. Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth. See, the Jewish man, he's not in mourning right now. He owns the diamond districts. He owns Hollywood, the music industry. He is extremely wealthy on this planet Earth. The banks, he's wealthy. He's not mourning. He's not in want of anything. He's making more money on top of money. He's not in mourning. But who is in mourning? It's us. We the one that have to watch our brothers get shot down in the streets. We are the ones that got to get knees put on our necks. We are the ones that are oppressed day in and day out. We are the ones that have to be in the prison systems. The majority of us is in the prison systems compared to the other nations. And then also we the ones that have drugs flood into our communities. We are in mourning. We are in mourning. And the gates thereof languish. And the gates thereof languish. What is a gate used for? A gate is used for protection. A gate is used for protection. So who's our protection? Who's our protection? Our leaders. The leaders of the people is our protection. And what are they doing? What is the pastors doing? They're not doing anything. They languish. They're weak. Our political leaders, our pastors, our imams, they're weak. They are black unto the ground. What? They are black unto the ground. Judah, the Jews, because Jew is short for Judah. The Jews are black unto the ground. We are black unto the ground. And we are, it says it right there. We are black unto the ground. And unto the ground means we come in different shades of brown, from a very light sandy brown to a very dark brown, like our King Yahushua Mashiach. And This is right there in Jeremiah 14 and verse 2. We are black unto the ground. See, the Most High God made us special. He gave the whole world. He gave it to us. He gave it to us. We are His firstborn. He gave everything to us. All He wants us is to obey Him. He gave it to us. And he also, the Most High God, He chose out of all the people on the face of the earth, He chose us. He chose us, and we should be grateful to the Most High God. We should be grateful, and we should honor Him. We should give our whole loyalty and love to Him. That's what we should do. We shouldn't be disobeying Him. We shouldn't go against Him. We shouldn't fight Him. We should honor the Most High God. Give Him praise. He does deserve it. He definitely does deserve it. Let's get 2 Ezra 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Adam, who is Christ in reincarnation, Adam and Christ, the Alpha and the Omega. They're both the same person. And first and last. And after these, Adam also, whom thou gavest Lord of all thy creatures. See, he was given Lord of all his creatures. That's include the other nations. Now, not just the animals. He was given dominion. He was given rulership. And him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So everybody does come from Adam, but out of that, Lord says it right here. It says it right here that out of all the people that come out of Adam, there's specific people whom He chose, and that's us. That's Israel. That's Israel. Verse 55. And this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sakes. See, the world was made for our sakes. It was made for us. It was made for us, but we continually choose to transgress His law, statutes, commandments, because for this is love, that we walk after His commandments. We got to do what the Lord tells us to do. There's no free will. It's either you do what you're told, you do what the Lord tells you to do, and you get rewarded, you get blessed, you get to live, or you get punished, and ultimately you keep doing it, you die. So, okay. Verse 56. But as for the other people, that's not Israel. That's not blacks, Hispanics, and Native men and women, which also come of Adam. That's the oppressor. That's the East Indians, Moab, Chinese, Japanese, and the Hamites, Ammon, Japanese, the Hamites, Africans. Thou hast said that they are nothing. Thou hast said that they are nothing. They're nothing. See, the Lord gave us everything. Everything else is they're considered nothing. So we should not look down on ourselves. We just have to understand that we can't disobey the Most High God, because in the curses it says we will get down in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. We will get down very low, and they will get very high if we disobey the Most High God. And that's what happened. That's the position that we in today. But it's also in the same chapter in the earlier verses that we in the blessings, we will get up very high and they will be down low if we obey the Most High God. We will be on top. We will lend to them, and we will lend to them, and they won't. And we will be the lender. We won't be the borrower. But be like unto spittle. So just like as when you're talking and you're speaking, and some spit comes out your mouth, you're not worrying about it. That's how they are. They're like unto spittle. Nothing you get a second thought of. And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So you have a whole bucket that you're walking, bucket of water, and then one drop as you walk in just spills over. Israel is that full bucket of water, and that one drop that falls out, that's the other nation. That's all they consider of. You don't worry about that one drop that fall out because you have a whole bucket worth. And that's how the Most High God consider us, because we are that special people. We're special unto the Most High God. And that's in Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. And He gonna make us above all nations. Above all nations. All we gotta do is obey Him. And also, we need to turn back to our book. We need to turn back to the holy book. It's a separate book. Holy means to be separate. Holy means to be separate. And we need to turn back to it because it holds the key. It holds the key to everything that we need to do. It holds our prophecies. It holds our laws, our statutes, our commandments. It holds the rewards that's coming for us for those who obey Him in these last days of time. It's the playbook. It's the playbook. It's the playbook. So we're gonna get Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God. This Bible right here. It says it right there. This holy Bible. From Genesis to Revelation. This is the book of the commandments of God. So this and this has no mate. This is what we need to. This is what we need to follow. This is what needs to be on our minds night and day. This is what we need to be studying. And then also we need to learn back our language again. And that's why the I.S.U.P.K have a Lashwan Kodash class, the holy tongue, separate tongue. It's because our language has more force in it. It's more force. Has more force in it. And the law that endureth forever. This law of the Most High God, it endures forever. It's not going nowhere. The Most High God changes not. As He was when creation started, is how He's going to be until the end. He's not, the Most High God does not change. And that's good for us because we know what to expect. We know what's coming. And then when we was in the wilderness, Moses told us what was going to befall us in the last days of time. He told us what's going to happen when we obey the Most High God. He told us what's going to happen when we disobey the Most High God. We have fair warning, but we still chose to disobey. We still chose to follow after our lust, our strong desires. We wanted to do what made us feel right. We wanted to be like the other nations. But the problem with doing that is that we get oppressed by them. The other nations don't like that we have the right to rule this planet Earth, and they know what Judith 5:20. Let's get that real fast. Judith 5:20. The heathen know what's gonna happen when we disobey the Most High God. That they have an advantage. They have an advantage in war, basically. Here's the book of Judith, chapter 5, and verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and governor. So this was a heathen talking to another heathen ruler. If there be any error in this people. So this is talking about Israel. So if there be any error, any sin, any iniquity, any transgression of the law, us disobeying these laws, statutes, commandments, if we eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, not being brotherly towards one another, holding grudges, all that, and they sin against their God. If we sin against our God, if we sin against the Most High God, we go against Him. We don't walk in His ways. If we leave what we've been taught, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. They know from back then that this will be our ruin. That's why Halloween is always in our faces year after year. Thanksgiving is in our faces year after year. Christmas in our faces year after year. Pushed in the educational system, pushed on the TV, in the movies. Everywhere you go, there's some temptation to lure us away from being obedient to the Most High God. But there's no law that's in the United States of America that stops us from obeying the Most High God. So we can do it. We can be perfect in this land called America. Christ was perfect in His time. Noah was perfect in his time. Job was perfect in his time. So we just gotta, perfection is keeping the laws and commandments. It's not being on time for being present on work on time every day. If you be late, that doesn't mean you're not perfect, or you take the trash out. If you have to take the trash out, that's not what it means to be perfect. Perfect, it means just keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Not eating shrimp, not eating pork, not eating crab, not eating lobster, not celebrating the American holidays, observing our feast days, our high holy days. Okay. And let us consider that this shall be their ruin. See, they knew it. This is going to be our ruin. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So they knew it, that was their time. When we disobey the Most High God, if they see that we transgress in these laws and commandments, they see that's their time. That's their time to wage war, to oppress us, to infiltrate us, to go against us. But here's the flip side of it. Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity, no transgression of the law, if we are a perfect nation, if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by. It's telling them right there, just keep on moving. They don't want no smoke with the Israelites at that point. They don't want nothing. They don't want nothing to do with us, with waging war with us. Lest their Lord defend them, because the Most High God will defend us. And the Most High God, we all know what happened to Egypt with those plagues, with all those plagues, and the firstborn of every living thing being killed in Egypt, from firstborn son to the cattle. It was a mess. And we become and their God to be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. And they become a reproach. They become a reproach. They be made an example of, just like Egypt was made an example of. They will be made an example of. And see, that's why you can't, that's why we have the perfect defense, our God, the perfect defense. And then the Most High God will provide, he'll make sure there's rain. Like once the work is done, the teaching on the streets, because right now we're in fishing season. We got to fish our brothers and sisters back into the truth. Now, the scripture says 2/3 of Israel must go, but we pray that all Israel gets saved. That's why we're ordered to go out on those street corners. Yahushua Mashiach, Jesus Christ. We gotta go and teach all of our people, no matter where they at. Gotta go to them and give them a chance to come into this fold. Because once fishing season is over, Christ is going to come back. It's going to be a dark day. It's going to be dark. Christ is going to return, not by himself, with 200 million angels who are black and Hispanic men. Yeah, the oppressor is a liar, saying they are white babies, saying God is white, saying Christ is white. Oh, yeah, the oppressor, he's a liar. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, the prophets. He made the prophets white. Every biblical movie got the Israelites being oppressors. The oppressor made a mistake, and I'm taking away our identity, and being cruel to the Israelites, because now he don't have no once he served his punishment, once he served his time, his slavery, he's going extinct, and there's going to be one less nation here on this earth. But for those who serve the Most High God, we have something coming for us that is beneficial. Because eye have not seen, ear have not heard, nor have put in the imaginations of the minds of men what the Lord have in store for us. So whatever we could think of that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, there's something that we have not thought of that the Lord has already prepared for us. So all we got to do is endure until the end. We got to have that strength to endure. We have to have that strength to fight the good fight. We got to put on the vessels, because we are that vessel of honor. The oppressor is that vessel of dishonor. We are that vessel of honor. So we was made. See, we got it in us to keep these laws and commandments. The Bible says they're not grievous. It's not grievous. It's not hard to keep. And we are that vessels made of honor. Everything that's righteous, that's good, we can do and become. The oppressor is that vessel of dishonor. All he knows is wickedness. All he know is how to deceive and kill and murder and rape and destroy. He don't know nothing else. He can't be righteous, but we can. We just gotta stop playing around. We gotta stop playing around, because we have armor to help us fight the good fight. Spiritual armor, because our weapons of our warfare, are not carnal. They're not carnal. So we got the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the girdle of truth, the footsteps of the footsteps of the gospel, the footsteps of the gospel of peace, the shield of faith, which is our works. And we gotta stay diligent in this truth. Do what we can. Go to camp. If you're a sister, support the brothers in the UPK in whatever fashion you can. Pay our tithes. You pay your tithes. You gotta pay our tithes. We gotta have be able to help this nation in our time of need. It's also a commandment. So you don't want the Most High God to make your pockets full of holes. Because if you don't give your 10% to the Most High God, He's going to find a way, whatever way He wants, to make you lose the money anyway. Whether it's a ticket, whether it's a bill that costs more than usual, whether there's some unexpected expense. So might as well just give Most High 10% off the top, and we got nothing to worry about. Also, we also got the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High God. That's why we got to study to show ourselves approved, so we can combat everything that comes against us. The Most High God wants the earth to be a paradise. But the problem with the earth today is the leadership, the oppressors in charge. See, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. The people mourn when the wicked bear rule. So we gotta do our job to get the oppressor out of rulership, out of that seat of rulership. And all we gotta do is keep doing what we've been doing since 1969. Stay steadfast in this truth. Tentative I.S.U.P.K. events. Going to the Lord's Passover. Pinning your all black, getting your Hebrew name. Coming into these ranks. Building the Lord's military, the Lord's army. Because just like there's 666 ruling families that's ruling the earth, under the Most High God, under Christ, there's going to be 144,000 men that rule the planet Earth. To rule the planet Earth, and we gonna do it. We're gonna rule the planet Earth, and we're gonna do it with wisdom. We're gonna do it with wisdom, and no one will be able to come against us in that time. They're gonna have to pay their tithes to Yahweh Shah. They're gonna bring the best to Jerusalem. So let's get Romans 10 and verse 1. Brother, this is Paul, Apostle Paul, brethren, Romans 10 and 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. That's what we want. We want Israel to be saved. We don't want no one to perish in the fire to come. It's not brotherly otherwise. We should want all of us to make it. All we gotta do is put in the work in for them to get that chance. We at least gotta give them that chance to make it. Give them that chance. It's like we was given a chance. We was given a chance. Verse 2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God. See, Israel have a zeal of God. That's why we in the Christian church, Muslim mosques, Egyptology. That's why we in these all these religions. It's unusual for Israelites to be atheists because we have a zeal of God. We have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. We just don't know how to serve God the right way. We don't understand the Most High God is our Father, and He's only here for us. Is that we have laws, statutes, and commandments that we must keep. These things we must do. We can't go like form our own thing, do our own thing, follow after the heathen. There's order to this. There's rank and order, structure. Okay. Let's get Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's get Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people, Israel. We holy. We separate. We're separate from the other nations. We're separate. We're cut off. We're separate from them. Most High God. Most High God's holy, and we're holy as well. Unto the Lord thy God. We're separate unto the Most High God Himself. He is our Father. He is our power. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee. See, we're chosen. Most High God hath chosen us. He didn't choose anyone else. Out of all the nations on the earth, He chose us. And it was nothing that we did. We was the fewest among all people. We was the fewest among all people, but the Most High God still chose us to be a special people unto Himself. That fellow black, Hispanic, and Native American man that you see on the street, fellow Israelite that you see walking down the block, just like you are special, he's special. So we shouldn't bring each other down. We shouldn't be crabs in a barrel. We should uplift one another. We should be kind, courteous. We should be have brotherly love towards one another. We should help each other when one is about to fall. A threefold cord is not easily broken. We need to stick together. Because one of us, if you're alone and if you fall, you don't have that other person help you up. But if you have another one, if someone falls, the other one can help the other one. Where there's two, there's warmth. So we need to stick to one another. We need to rely on one another. That's what we have counsel for. And the multitude of counselors, there is safety. The counsel department of I.S.U.P.K. Comes right from the Lord. So you know it's wise to heed towards it. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. See, out of all, but we are, it says it right there, above. We are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Out of all the people on the face of the earth, the Most High God made us above them. We're above the East Indian, above the Arab man, above the African man, above the oppressor. The Most High God loves us. That's who He loves. Let's get Psalms 147 and verse 19. So this is the book of Psalms, the 147 and verse 19. He showeth His word unto Jacob. He showeth His word unto Jacob. The Most High God showed His word unto us, the blacks, Hispanics, Native men, women, children. He didn't show His word unto anybody else. He showed His word unto us. His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. That is who He's dealing with. He gave us His statutes, us His judgments. Verse 20, he have not dealt so with any nation. Says it right there. He didn't give his word to any other nation. He didn't give his statutes and judgments to them. That's why we get punished that's why we get chronic illness when we eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. See, that's why they affect us more harshly. These illnesses, they affect us more harshly when we engage in homosexuality, super gonorrhea, HIV/AIDS. They hit our community, Black, Hispanics, Native men, women, and children community, more harshly. We can't do those things. We can't be transgenders. We can't do abominable acts. We can't be drunkards. Can't be drunkards. Can't be alcoholics. Drink wine. Drink alcohol. Just can't be a drunk. You can't drink to the point where you're sinning against the Most High God. Can't do that. When you're putting your life in danger and the life of your fellow brothers and sisters in danger. Can't do that. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High God. Praise ye the Lord. That's why we need to praise the Most High God. He gave his judgments to us. He loved us. Because what else? We always talk about the punishments, but there are blessings as well. We get to get rewarded by the Most High God when we obey Him. We can get blessed in the city and in the field. It's right here in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, meaning this is going to happen. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken, if we will listen diligently, continuously, unto the voice of the Most High God, unto his law, such as commandments, unto what the Most High God tell us to do. Listen to his voice. Listen to his priests, his prophets. Listen to Moses and what he gave us. To observe. We need to learn these laws, statutes, commandments. We need to learn this book. We need to learn the Bible. And to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high. We will be set on high. We'll be set on high above all nations of the earth. We'll be that unstoppable nation. Won't be touched. We'll be advanced far above any other nation has been. We'll be the lender and not the borrower, as I was saying before. And verse 2, bring it right on the nail. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All these blessings will come upon us and overtake us. So we'll be rewarded so much that it'll be too much. We'll be overly abundant. Overly abundant. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High God. And then goes into verse 3, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. So whether we're in the city or in the field, we will be blessed. We'll be rewarded. Anything we put our hands to, any task we perform, any job we're in, we'll be blessed in it. Our children will be blessed. All of that will happen. And we jump down to verse 7. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. So when we obey the Most High God, anybody that try to come against us will fail. Will fail and will fall. They shall come against thee one way and flee thee 7 ways. So they will come and try to attack us one way, but they will depart. They will flee from us 7 different ways. they'll come against us in unison, and then they'll just scatter like chickens without heads. Uh, and we drop down to verse 10. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord. What's our name? Yasharallah in Hebrew. Prince of the power, if you're male. Princess of the power, if you're female. Like the Most High God. He gives us everything. He gives us a great name. Like in comparison to Esau, I saw wasted away in sea. Edom, out of one, red. It's like we have the greatest name on earth. He gave us everything. Why do we choose to go against our Creator, our Lord, our God? We got to stop that. It's not. The Lord has mercy. And grace, it runs out. It runs out. Let's get Romans. Romans, 6:1? Romans. Let's get Romans 6:1. First book of Romans, 6 and verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? That's what Paul is asking. Paul is asking a question. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? So should we just sin and sin and sin so that grace can last for a longer and longer period of time? Verse 2, God forbid. No, la. No, we Christ died for what we did, not for what we do. Once we learn the truth, Christ is not being on that cross again for us. That's it. It's a wrap. We just got to wait for our punishment, wait for our judgment. The Lord God winketh at our ignorance, but once we know, it's a wrap. We knew better. We got to do better. That verse 5. Oh no, sorry. This is the book of Romans, the 6th verse 15. What then? Shall we sin because we're not under the law? Under the death penalty under the law? Under the death penalty under the law? But under grace, God forbid. See? Just because we have grace, just because we have a time period to get right, because that's all grace is. It doesn't mean grace is not means you don't have to pay what you owe. It just gives you a time to get yourself together, so you can. It's just giving you an extension. That's basically what it is. It's giving you an extension. And that's what the Lord God gave us. He's giving us an extension so we can get ourselves together, get ourselves in order. That's what the Lord is doing. Let's get John, 1 John. Let's get 1 John. Slakia. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God. See? So the Most High God explains it right now. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. So love is an action. It's not a feeling. It's not something that you feel. It's not an emotion. That's not what love is. It's not something that you can come in and out of. It's not the honeymoon phase or the affection phase. Love is, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. That's what love is. Keeping the commandments of the Most High God. And that doesn't stop. Got to keep doing it. Each and every lifetime. That's why it's important that we teach our children the right way. Train up our child in the way in which he should go, so that he can train us, or his child can train us when we come back on the earth. Because that's why it starts with us now. We gotta get it right now. We gotta do it right now. Got to. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. His commandments are not hard to keep. They're just not. His commandments are not hard to keep. That's why we have to do it. We have to keep his commandments because they're not hard to keep. They're not. So once we keep them, we can get the blessings, we can get the rewards, we can get everything that the Most High God wants us to have. Okay. Let's get. Oh yeah. Let's get Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon. 1. That's cuss. Song of Solomon 1 and verse 5. This is Song of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 5. Well, let's start 1 and verse 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon. So this is King Solomon. King Solomon wrote the Song of Solomon. And we all know, if we don't know, he's the son of King David. And Yahweh Shah comes from the line, Jesus Christ comes from the line of King David. Yeah. King Solomon was king of Israel after his father, King David. And this is what he says about himself. I am black. King Solomon, the wisest king, the wealthiest, and probably one had the most wives. Black. It says right there, I am black but comely. Black and handsome, black and beautiful, black. We just got that genetic glow about us. We Most High God. We that vessel of honor. He gave us everything. We not like the so-called Hamites that got that dirty brown. We got that good brown. That good brown. And then when we drop to verse 10, thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels. See? Who puts jewels up in their teeth? The black man. And thy neck with chains of gold. We the rock the chains. We get fly. We dress to impress. We got that nature in us. We be fly on deck. So King Solomon, he is a black man. Prophets are black. Christ is black. And it's important for us to know this because it starts to wipe the conditioning, the Christianity off of us. That's what it starts to do. It starts to wipe the Christianity off of us, and then we could, because the truth, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So, this is the book of Proverbs. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, and verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. See? The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. Prove all things. It says right there. He was the son of David, king of Israel. And Solomon, he wrote a lot of wise sayings in the book of Proverbs, book of Song of Solomon, book of Ecclesiasticus, that we should go over and listen and attain to. Because Most High God will teach subtlety to the simple. He will give it to us. All we got to do is just listen to him, walk in his ways. Okay. Because let's see, Job chapter this is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright. See, we have records in our Bible. Records in our book, records in our Bible, records in our history that showcase black men being perfect. And Job was one of those black men, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. Not only must you fear God, you must eschew evil. You must hate evil. You must hate it. We gotta learn. We gotta learn from the Old Testament. It was because it was written for our learning. It was written so that we can build up the strength and courage to stand in these last days of time. Because we are in the last days of time. Don't let no one fool you. We are in the last days of time. So we have to be on point. We have to be on point because Christ is coming back quick. He's coming back quickly. That's in Revelation. Christ is coming back quickly. And he's coming back with a sword. He's coming back. Because once Christ returns, it's going to be thermonuclear fire in a city near you in the land called America. So we have to stay on point, and we gotta, because we don't want to die in destruction that's to come. We don't want to die in destruction that's to come. So Israel, let's stay in these classes, let's stay in these radio shows, and let's do it for our King Yahushua Mashiach. He died on that cross for us, so let's give our life for him. And with that, this is Let Hebrew Speak. General Katham Gabar and myself, we held it down for General Hassan and Captain Kara Brian. Captain Azanya having the Hidden Truth revealed next. It's probably on right now. And with that, tune into the other radio shows, Cross the Line Radio. Black Watch tonight with Commanding General YAHANNA, and of course the Scripture Breakdown class with General Muhammad. Cross the Line Radio with Captain Cesaria, Captain Katiza, and all the other radio shows that get broadcast. With that, Shalom Israel. Song Salakia. Salakia. Go to the King.
in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways, payback in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now they walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft. Better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. Behind me say I cup full. No room for emotion. So I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to suffer. Flow so deep, they drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head. And I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing. Gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter. The lies are sweet, tried everything. I guess me and Yahanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring me bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time. This Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. She call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the